I'm Andrea Strachan, and I am a curriculum coordinator for the primary school here at Dover campus, and I was leading the junior school campus design lab. So specifically when looking at the junior school, what we wanted to do was engage with all of the different shareholders in this area of the school. What are the needs of students in grades 2 to 5 specifically, and how does our learning environment impact teaching and learning? That's really one of the questions we wanted to pose when we were thinking about this. So when we were meeting with different people that have a vested interest in the junior school, we wanted as many different voices as possible to be a part of this. So we spoke to students, we spoke to teaching assistants, we spoke to parents, and most importantly, we spoke to teachers, because this is a space for teachers, and they're really thinking about how the learning environment shapes what they do in their classrooms. There were 3 words that really arose during our junior school campus design lab, and those words were space, community and collaboration, I guess that's 2 words, and nature. And when you think of these 3 words together, they actually all speak to our mission, which was really interesting. The word space, of course, was speaking to how we use space. How big will the classrooms be? Will there be space for collaboration? Will there be space for storage? How does the space affect how students can interact and the different types of learning engagements that a teacher can set up and design? But in terms of this community and collaboration piece, it was all about how do we work together? How can we make sure that we create spaces that are flexible and kind of future thinking, but also encourage people coming together as a community, sharing ideas, because we know that learning is a social enterprise, and that's really important to our students and teachers. But the final word, that word nature, that was really interesting how often it came up, because as you know, our mission is about peace and a sustainable future, and sustainability is at the heart of a lot of what we do. So thinking about natural light, natural resources, sustainable materials in building it, access to the outdoors, making sure that students can look at nature in ways that are not only, I guess, inviting in terms of stimulating ideas and learning, but also nurturing the sense of well-being and connectedness. This idea that learning doesn't just take place inside the classroom walls, it's actually throughout the campus and actually throughout the world around us. I was part of a massing panel, which was taking a look at how the different pieces of a future campus might fit together and thinking about adjacencies of different learning parts of the building. So for example, what is the proximity from the junior school to the library, for example, kind of a heart of the learning space. So in speaking with those experts, we were able to get ideas about what other schools have done, and they were really able to share their expertise in this area, so we started there. But then it was also really fun to reach out to other schools that we visited or heard about and draw inspiration from them. So sometimes, for example, there was something that looked really cool in a new school, but then in talking to that school, we were able to find out what some of the challenges were associated with that thing that looked cool but may not always be as functional. But you know what was also really interesting is now we have access to AI, and AI can actually develop pictures, right? We can develop images that are really cool. So you can put in your ideas about what you're looking for and then actually generate an image, and it draws from I guess different sources. So in terms of dreaming what this campus could look like, really it's a really creative process. So I'm going to be really interested to see how it all kind of pans out, because what we started with really is what do we need? What's most important to us in terms of what the design needs to look like? In terms of what we have now, what can we let go of, what maybe doesn't work as well for us? And then using all of these kind of creative processes and sources of inspiration, I think we're going to be able to develop or design a new campus that's really exciting, that works well for our students today and well into the future. This process is so exciting. I think whenever we're looking at letting go of something that's been here for a long time, like we've been living in this building, in this campus for over half a century. It's amazing. And so I think whenever you let go of something, people are worried that there's going to be a sense of loss. But I actually think in engaging in the design labs, what we've done is generate excitement for the future. So how do we take all those things we love about our campus right now and bring them into this new design, and these opportunities to shape new learning experiences that are really responsive to what we see in terms of education, really creating flexible spaces that can be used for today and in the future for nurturing all of those, I don't know, aspects of our school community that speak to our mission. I think what surprised me the most was, while we spoke to so many different people with so many different perspectives on what our future campus needed or should include, the responses were so similar, which really shows to me, I think, highlights that we really do share a common mission and a common vision for what we think teaching and learning looks like at our school. This idea that we needed spaces for collaboration, for community, for connections to nature. All of these really, I think, speak to the core of who we are as a college. And so that was really encouraging. There was no place where you had one person that had something really unusual. Everyone was thinking more about what we needed as a whole, as a community. And multiple people were raising the needs of certain people in our community that might have specific needs. For example, students that might have a mobility issue. It didn't matter which group I spoke to, people would raise that. Have we thought about this? Have we thought about these people and these needs? So I think even our consideration of diversity, equity, inclusion, and that sense of belonging, I think that came out from everybody in terms of how we're speaking about how we think about our community and our learning spaces. I think we're in a really fortunate position where we have a really good reputation, not only within Singapore, but around the world. And I feel proud every day to work at Uwcsea. And I think people look to us as leaders, and that's really exciting. And that's for a few reasons. I think it's our mission. I think it's our commitment to professional learning. We are all a community of lifelong learners. And I think it's also our curriculum. We're really innovative in terms of thinking about how we respond to developments in education. And so in moving forward, what's really exciting is that we're going to be able to design something that works for our students, but also I hope that other people can look to for inspiration in the same way that we've drawn inspiration from others. I think what's really important to remember is that a school isn't just a physical space, it's a community of people. And so when we're moving from one learning space to a new learning space, what changes actually is that learning environment, of course, to a certain extent, but what doesn't really change is that community. That community moves to that new space. That ethos that kind of drives us, that mission that drives us is still there. Our commitment to concept-based teaching and learning and being innovative and developing intercultural competence in our students, all of that carries with us as we move to that new space. And although change can sometimes be intimidating or even make us feel a bit uncomfortable, it's also how we grow and how we learn. And so I think if we start to look at this as an opportunity to grow and learn, it's actually really exciting, where we can take the best of what we're doing right now, move into a new space where we've been able to design it in a way that we think fits even better, what we're doing. I think that's something to look forward to and is really exciting.